Alrighty guys, welcome to another video by yours truly, Huskers GBR or Rich, doesn't really matter what you call me. But anyways, gonna talk today about something that I had a few requests for, and something that I've recommended in some of my other videos that you take if you plan on getting a motorcycle, or even if you already have a motorcycle. It could be a good refresher for you, and that is taking the Motorcycle Safety Foundations class. And they offer both beginner and expert classes, I believe. The beginner one is open to essentially anybody who knows how to ride a bicycle, and you're 18 or older, at least in Nebraska. That's how old you have to be to get a motorcycle license, so 18 and older here in Nebraska. But other than that, they also have an expert class that you can take a year after completing your beginner's class, and they go over, in the beginner's one at least, a whole bunch of stuff. And for me, I started off riding 3 years ago now, and before I got street bikes and stuff like that, I'd ridden dirt bikes a few times. I knew the gist of clutch, brake, front rear brake, balance, all that type of stuff. But you know, riding on the street's a little bit different than riding in the dirt or in the field or in the country, and it's important for you to know that. And while motorcycles like dirt bikes can be a good experience for you, there's still a few things that need to be taught to you how to ride a street bike. And what the MSF course does is it breaks down essentially every movement on the motorcycle: clutch control, throttle control, steering, counter steering, braking with the rear brake, braking with the front, passing, how to get yourself out of a possible dangerous situation, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And you know, it's really not too long. It took I think it was a 3-day class. It was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday here for me. And they first couple days, or the whole Friday evening, I think it was like 3 hours, was just book work. They went over stuff, showed you videos. Really wasn't too bad. The teachers were cool and everything. And then another 3 hours the next day, we're done I guess we're done in the classroom. And then another 3 hours after that, we're done riding actually the motorcycles. And what our group, the course here in Nebraska, had were Honda Rebel 250s, and those were great little beginner bikes for everybody, including myself. You know, they're not too big, they're not too heavy, they're not going to get away from you, and they weren't brand new either. So if you dropped one, nobody in my class did, and neither did myself. But you know, you can tell they've been dropped. You know, they don't really care. They won't make you pay for any damage if you drop the bike or anything like that, which is kind of nice, especially if you've never ridden a motorcycle before or have doubts about your skills. But you know, it was, the way they teach you things is very, very straightforward. They start you off by just having you sit on the motorcycle and actually push yourself across a parking lot. Thankfully, they started us at the top of a hill. Like the parking lot we were in had a hill and was sloped down from one side to the other. So they just had us with the bikes off. They didn't even give us the keys. Essentially get on the top of the bike, or get on the bike at the top of the hill and just ride down, just to get the feel of the bike down and get the feel of the brakes and everything. And after that, they allowed us to start them and everything, allowed us to rev them up a little bit and everything like that too. And then after that, they allowed you to use the clutch control, and all they wanted you to do the first time going back up the hill was just give it a little bit of throttle and slowly let out the clutch. And you know, if you could, the first time that you let out the clutch, if you were comfortable in yourself, you could essentially just give it some more throttle and ride on up the hill, you know, at I think 5 or 10 miles an hour. They didn't want you going too fast at first. But for most people, they just had you feather the clutch in and out, in and out, in and out to make your way back up the hill. And after that, I mean, they repeated that probably, we went up and down, up, down, up, down, probably 3 times at least. So they gave you 6 trips up and down. And after that, the next thing was just going around in a big circle. And that was quite fun. It was a big open parking lot, and they allowed us to get up to, I think, about 20 miles an hour is about all the fastest they wanted us to go. But with that exercise, they just taught you shifting and stuff like that. In the straightaways, they wanted you to go from first gear to second gear, and they had somebody watch your shifts to make sure that you were closing the throttle, pulling in the clutch, shifting up, and reapplying throttle after slowly letting out the clutch. So that was very helpful and everything. And you know, it just kind of progressed very slowly like that. You know, it's not like they just got you on the bikes and told you to do a rolling burnout, for an example, or anything like that, or to do a figure 8 drill, you know, inside of the box. And if you guys have thought about taking the MSF course, the hardest thing on the test is what's called the box, and you have to do a figure 8 essentially in a space that's a little bit wider than like this lane I'm riding in right here. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard at all, guys. Like it may seem hard if you've never been on a motorcycle or something like that, but by no means it's something that is going to cause you to fail the class or the course. And what's nice is that some people didn't know or didn't understand that in the MSF course, you can actually, you don't have to get 100% by any means. You can actually get, I think it was a 75% on the written test, and the lowest score we had on that in my class was I think an 80%. So everybody passed with flying colors on that. And then on the riding course, you could get, I think, like an 80%. And on that, we had somebody get, I think, like an 83 or something like that. That was the lowest percentage. So everybody passed on that. And, you know, everybody in my class was pretty worried, actually, about the box drill. But even the person who failed it, or like went outside of the lines multiple times in practice, still managed to finish it just fine and complete the course. So, I mean, really, take the MSF course. You won't fail it. It's very easy. The instructors go everything very well. I mean, it taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, especially counter steering. That's a new concept. I'll have to make a video on that as well. But counter steering is a big thing with motorcycles. If you do not understand counter steering or know how to counter steer a motorcycle, you will not be able to ride it faster than probably 5-10 miles an hour. Otherwise, essentially the bike will crash, or you will end up going way past a corner. Because I'm not going to get into it now, but you can look up a video on counter steering if you like to, and I will make one here shortly on one. But that was something big that they really went over for us. And, you know, if I didn't know about that, you know, I bought a motorcycle right after the class, you know, I probably would have been in a little bit of trouble if I didn't really understand that or know how to do that. So that was really nice of them. I guess I really don't have any necessarily like concerns or like anything bad to say about it, at least the one here in Nebraska. It may be different for other people, you know, in different cities or different states and everything. And, you know, feel free to say something down in the comments, because I have, you know, several subscribers that are, you know, across the Midwest in the United States. So I'm sure they would like to know what it might be like in their city or state, you know, if it happens to be the same. So I guess that's today's video, guys. Try to crack out a couple more here before the sun goes down. But if you get any questions at all, feel free to PM me or just drop a comment down below, and I will try my hardest to get back to you as soon as I can, which shouldn't be too bad. Got a smartphone, I'll get the email on my phone really quickly, and I should be able to, you know, reply to you within, you know, a couple of hours, if that. Most of the time it's within 10 to 15 minutes. So take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, please. Thanks, guys. See you later.